If anyone's taken any of my culinary classes, they know how enamored I am with edible flowers as for plating and also for their health benefits. So today I brought with me some rose rugosa, which is, can you see that? Dried rose. The culinary use of dried rose, typically not used in the West. You know, you just don't see this too often. In the Middle East, though, it's the dried rose petals are used, the dried rose buds, as I just showed you. Rosewater shows up in quite a few Middle Eastern recipes, and it's used in a variety of different ways. Turkey and Bulgaria produce the rose essential oil, and Bulgaria is definitely some of the best in the world. When you're looking at using it for use for consumption, you have to make sure if you are using the essential oil that it's for internal use. Some products you would purchase, in a health food store are more for external use. Roses are also grown in Iran and Morocco, and Japan does grow roses for culinary and medicinal uses. In China, rose petals are used to flavor tea and to flavor sugar, but not the dried ones. So if you had a fresh rose petal, you could put that into the sugar to impart the subtle flavor. The dried petals would have to be rehydrated. So the flavor notes, obviously it's going to smell and taste like a rose. The damask rose is considered the most fragrant, and dried roses will release their perfume when they're rehydrated during cooking, and it gives a floral taste. So when you're talking about flavor pairing, you're talking about adding notes, clearly this is going to pair better with sweeter foods like desserts. You're going to have to be very creative to put it in with an entree and find, a lot of palatability or acceptance. It would go nicely maybe in a salad dressing, rehydrated. The rose water and rose oil pair best with the sweet foods. It's, as I mentioned before, difficult to find that rose oil for internal use. I could see making a salad dressing with the rehydrated rose petals and pairing it with something like that I've talked about in other videos, arugula or watercress, where you've got something pungent and then you pair something sweet and floral with it. Would be really delightful. And then maybe even using the crushed rose petals, as a plating garnish could be really lovely. There's rose petal jam and rose tea, which obviously are very delightful. If you have small children at home, making rose petal jam is just going to be a very wonderful experience for them. Children love flowers. Everybody, loves flowers, loves the smell of a rose, but children particularly get delighted when you do a different culinary preparation. The jam would have sugar in it. So yeah, if you're avoiding sugar, that wouldn't be the most ideal thing, but you could do it, and sugar is used for occasional, purposes. Medicinally, there's a study that found that I found that Rosa rugosa has 23 different phenolic compounds, the principal one being quercetin glycoside. And of course, quercetin can be used as an antihistamine, the same thing that we find in onion skins and apples. And this study found that the powerful antioxidant effects were against DNA damage and improved the level of superoxide dismutase and the total antioxidant capacity. So particularly the study found that there were C. elegans, which is a model organism, that there was an anti-aging effect. So if you want to integrate something wonderful, making a nice rose petal tea in the afternoon or making a rose petal jam and eating it, stirred into your overnight oats or oatmeal can be a very delightful experience, a little bit different, and provide you with some anti-aging benefits.